Starting with the great name of Almighty Allah, Assalamu alaikum, myself Irman Samad, and I am here to present the topic of macroeconomics. Today I am telling you about the reasons of balance of payment crisis. So, before we go through the reasons of balance of payment crisis, first we go through the what is balance of payment, how it is work in our country. The definition is that the balance of payment of a country is the systematic record of all economic transactions between the residents of a country and the rest of the world. It presents a classified record of all receipts on account of goods exported, services rendered, and capital received by residents and payment made by them on account of goods imported and services received from the capital transferred to non-residents or foreigners. So now we discuss about the features of the balance of payment. Number one is that it is a systematic record of all economic transactions between one country and the rest of the world. Second one, it includes all transactions visible as well as invisible. Invisible items, which include all type of physical goods exported and imported, and invisible items, which include all those services whose export and import are not visible, for example transport services and medical services. Third feature is that it relates to a period of time. Generally it is an annual statement. Fourth and last of feature is that it adopts a double entry bookkeeping system. It has two sides, credit side and debit side. Receipts are recorded on the credit side and payment on the debit side. Now we discuss about the balance of trade. The definition of balance of trade is that the difference between a country's imports and its export. Balance of trade is the largest component of a country's balance of payments. In balance of trade, there are two items included. Number one is debit item. Debit item include imports, foreign aid, domestic spending abroad, and domestic investment abroad. Second one is that credit item. In credit item includes exports, foreign spending in the domestic economy, and foreign investment in the domestic economy. Now we discuss about the balance of trade in a favorable and favorable condition. So when our exports are greater than imports, then the balance of trade is favorable in condition. But if imports are greater than export, then it is unfavorable. Now we discuss about the importance of balance of payment. Number one is that balance of payment records all the transactions that create demand for and supply of a currency. Second one, judge economic and financial status of a country in the short term. And the third one is that balance of payment may confirm trends in international trade and exchange rate of the currency. This may also indicate change or reversal in the trend. Balance of payment also indicate the policy shift of the monetary authority of the country. The general rule in balance of accounting is that first one is that if a transaction earns foreign currency for the nation, it is a credit and it is recorded as a plus item. If a transaction involves spending of foreign currency, it is a debit item and it is recorded as a negative item. There are two components in a balance of system. Number one is that current account, second one is that capital account. In current account balance of payment on current account is a statement of actual receipts and payments in the short period. It includes the value of export and import of both visible and invisible goods. There can be either surplus or deficit in the current account. The current account includes export and import of services, interest, profits, dividends, and unilateral receipts, payment from to abroad. Balance of payment on current account refers to the inclusion of three balances of the namely merchandise balance, service balance, and unilateral transfer balance. While in capital account balance, the capital account record all the international transactions that involve the residents of the country concerned, changing either his assets with or his liability to the residents of another country. Transactions in the capital account reflect a change in a stock, either assets or liabilities. It is the difference between the receipts and payments on account of capital account. It refers to all financial transactions. The capital account involves inflows and outflows relating to investments, short-term borrowing and lending, and medium-term to Long-term borrowing and lending. Now we discuss about the our main concern, that is the reasons of the balance of payment crisis. So the first reason of the balance of payment crisis is that cyclical fluctuations. Business fluctuations arises out of the occurrences of trade cycle cause disequilibrium in the balance of country. If there is business recession in the foreign countries, it will result in fall in exports of the country concerned, leading to the causes in the balance of payment. The second reason is shortfall in exports. A fall in exports and rise in import of the country causes a balance of payment crisis. The fall in export and rise in import may be due to contraction of economy, yeah, or fall in domestic production, rising demand for imported goods, inferior quality and high prices of the goods to be exported, or maybe currency appreciation, or demonstration effects, or maybe cheaper price and better quality of foreign goods. Last one is that increase in money income due to inflation policy. Third reason is economic development. A country's balance of payment also depend on its stage of economic development. If a country is developing, it will have a deficit in its balance of payment. Fourth reason is that rapid increases in population. If a rapid growth of population increases, they may be cause in high import and less export. So it is a cause in balance of payment. So it will be a major reason of the balance of payment crisis. The fifth reason is structural changes. It emerges on account of structural changes occurring in some sectors of the economy at home or abroad, which may alter the demand or supply of import and export. Sixth reason is natural calamities. Natural calamities such as floods, furnace, crop failures, etc. adversely affect on agriculture and industrial production, leading to fall in export and rise in import, and hereby causing the balance of payment crisis. The last reason of the balance of payment of crisis is that capital movement. If due to political instability and other factors, there is a flight of capital from the country, it would cause disequilibrium in the balance of payment. Likewise, a country may tend to have an adverse balance when it borrows heavily from other countries, while the lending country will tend to have the favorable balances. So now we discuss all the causes of the balance of payment crisis. So if we discuss about the cause of balance of payment of crisis, that it will help us that how we correct the balance of payment of crisis of disequilibrium. So every country wants to measure the correct balance of payment. So there are many measures to measure the correct balance of payment crisis or disequilibrium. Number one is that monetary policy. The monetary policy is concerned with money supply and credits in the economy. The central bank may expand or contract the money supply and the economy through appropriate measures which will affect the prices. Like in our Pakistan, their central bank is State Bank of Pakistan. Number second measure is that fiscal policy. Fiscal policy is a government's policy on income and expenditure. Government incurs development and non-development expenditures. It gets income through taxation and non-tax sources. Depending upon the situation, government expenditure may increased or decreased. Third measure to correct disequilibrium in the balance of payment is that exchange rate depreciation. By reducing the value of the domestic currency, government can correct the disequilibrium in the balance of the economy. Exchange rate depreciation reduces the value of home currency in relation to foreign currency. As a result, import becomes costlier and export becomes cheaper. It also leads to inflationary trends in the country. Number 4 is that devaluation. Devaluation is lowering the exchange value of the official currency. When a country devalues its currency, exports become cheaper and imports become expensive, which causes reducing in the balance of payment deficit. Fifth measure is deflation. Deflation is the reduction in the quantity of money to reduce prices and income. In the domestic market, when the currency is deflated, there is a decrease in the income of the people. This puts curb on consumption and government can increase export and earn more foreign exchange. Number 6 is that exchange control. All exports are directed by the monetary authority to surrender their foreign exchange earning and the total available foreign exchange is rationed among the license importers. The license holder can import any good but import if fixed by monetary authority. These are all the monetary measures. Now we discuss about some of the non-monetary measures. Number one is that export promotion. To control export promotion, the country may adopt measures to stimulate export, like export duties may be reduced to boost exports. Cash assistance subsidies can be given to exporters to increase exports. Goods meant for export can be exempted from all types of taxes. Number second non-monetary measure is that import substitutes. A step may be taken to encourage in the production of import substitute. This will save foreign exchange in the short run by replacing the use of import by these import substitutes. Third, these are all the measures of the balance of payment crisis. Now we discuss about the main reasons for the poor performance of Pakistan export trade. There are several reasons of Pakistan poor performance. Some of them are high. Number one is that high prices. As compared to other countries, the prices of Pakistan goods is high. Prices are high due to documentation of formalities, higher transaction cost, and how also make higher profits. Number second is that poor quality. Poor quality. Many Pakistan exporters do not give much importance to quality controls, so their products are poor quality. Due to low quality, many times Pakistan goods are rejected and sent back to Pakistan by foreign buyers. Third one is that poor negotiation skills. Pakistan export lack negotiation skills due to the poor training in marketing. They fail to convince and induce the foreign buyers to place orders. Fourth one is that inadequate promotion. For export marketing, promotion is important. Many Pakistan exporters do not give much importance to promotion. A good number of Pakistan exporters are not professional in advertising and sales promotion. They do not take part in trade fairs and exhibition. Number fifth one is that poor follow up of sales. Pakistan exporters are ineffective in providing after sale service. They do not bother to find out the reaction of buyers after sale. This results in the poor performance of Pakistan export trade.